The SYSPRO connector is a dedicated connector that is used to send and retrieve data between BPA Platform and your SYSPRO installation. This allows data to be synchronized between SYSPRO and third-party systems that it does not normally connect with, such as eCommerce and CRM systems. The SYSPRO Connector Tool pack consists of the SYSPRO Integration Agent, which communicates with the SYSPRO API, and the SYSPRO Connector, which communicates with the agent instead of interacting directly with the SYSPRO company database. The SYSPRO Connector Global Configuration is used to create connections to the SYSPRO Integration Agent and from the agent to SYSPRO itself. In Tools, Data Connectors, let's double-click to open the SYSPRO Global Settings. From here you can add, edit, or remove a connection. The extended logging allows you to see the full XML parsed between the SYSPRO connector and SYSPRO in the event log. Extended logging is only recommended for detailed analysis, as it will add additional records to the event log for each task run and can cause the event log to grow substantially larger. Multiple connections can exist in this list. For this example, we only have one. Let's select it and choose Edit. In the Agent Connection tab, we can enter a meaningful name, which we will see later when selecting this connection in the step. We need to specify the Integration Agent server name of the computer hosting the SYSPRO Integration Agent. In this instance, we have entered localhost, but it can also be an IP address or machine name. And if we open the Advanced Settings, select the appropriate configuration for your environment. For example, if you need to use a different port or require your connection to use HTTPS. And click OK to close. Enabling Update Objects and Operations allows the SYSPRO schema in BPA Platform to be refreshed. For example, if a new object is added to those available for use in the connector. If we select the SYSPRO Connector tab, this configures how the SYSPRO Connector agent connects to the SYSPRO company database. You will need to enter the host name or IP address of the computer hosting this service, and in the Advanced Settings, set any further details that are required for your environment. Then click OK to close. In Authentication Details, enter the username and password required to access SYSPRO. And here you will need to enter the company database name and the password required to access the database. If you are using a product runtime license issued by SYSPRO, select Use Runtime Product Licensing and then choose one of the available options. Finally, use Test Connection to ensure the details are correct. In the Business Object Parameters tab, you can set global values for parameters for individual objects which are sent to SYSPRO during transactions. As part of the XML sent from the connector to SYSPRO, including these parameter values determines how the XML is treated. Each parameter has a default value set by SYSPRO, but you can override this value on a connection or task run basis. Next, we will open a pre-existing task. In the browser, Tools, Data Connectors, let's drag in a SYSPRO connector step. The General tab allows you to input a meaningful name and description for the step. And in the Data Source area, you can select between three options. No Data Source allows you to use variables in place of the XML objects fields. Task Step allows you to use an available XML step as the data source. For this demonstration, we will select Output XML from Transform XML. or custom schema allows you to define the schema of the expected source data to be used alongside a variable used as the input data source at runtime. In the Connections tab, all connections created in the global configuration are presented here. We will select the connection we looked at previously. Alternatively, a dynamic connection can be assigned via a variable or formula. Next, in the Mapping tab, we can define the links between the data source XML and those required by SYSPRO. The Object drop-down contains the available SYSPRO modules. For this example, General Ledger is selected. And in the Operations drop-down, this shows the business objects and functions available for the selected object. We will select Gentan GL Analysis Posting. Let's expand the trees. To create mappings, we can create links by dragging and dropping a data source field onto its corresponding SYSPRO Connector input field. Only linked fields are used in the output XML. Fields prefixed with P denote parameter fields. Mapping these in the step will overwrite the default SYSPRO parameter values or any set in the connections configuration for the operation. You can use schema refresh at any time to make the latest API metadata available for use. In the Options tab, we will define how errors in this step are handled at task runtime. In this example, we will choose to continue processing if an error occurs and continue processing onto the next step in the task if a step is aborted. You can alternatively decide to error the step and task. This setting tells the step how to operate if the source data is empty during a task run. For example, when a preceding step returns no data for processing. We will click OK to close this window. And that's it for this BPA Platform tool overview video. Call us for further information or visit codelessplatforms.com. Thanks for watching.